The Old Love Story. Once, there was a quiet little town nestled between green hills and sparkling rivers. Its simplicity was its charm. The cobblestone streets were lined with flower boxes, and the scent of fresh bread from the bakery always lingered in the air. In this town lived Clara, a young woman with chestnut hair and sparkling green eyes, known for her gentle spirit and her love for poetry. Clara had grown up in this town. Her family had a small farm on the outskirts, and though she had no grand dreams of adventure, she often wandered the fields, lost in her thoughts and the beauty of nature. It was during one of these walks that she met Thomas. Thomas was a painter, a wanderer who had come to the town in search of something he could not name. His world was full of colors and brush strokes, and he found the quiet charm of the town inspiring. He often spent his days near the riverbank, capturing the changing light on the water and the peaceful stillness of the surrounding nature. It was on a warm autumn afternoon, as the sun painted the sky in shades of orange and pink, that their paths crossed for the first time. Clara had been walking along the river, her fingers trailing in the cool water, when she spotted him. He was sitting on a stone, his easel set up in front of him, his eyes focused on the landscape before him. Clara, always drawn to the beauty of art, stopped to admire his work. He noticed her almost immediately, but it wasn't her gaze that caught his attention. It was the way she moved. There was a quiet grace about her, a softness that seemed to belong to another time, another world. "Hello," she said softly, not wanting to interrupt, but unable to keep her curiosity contained. "Hello," he replied, his voice warm and inviting. "I hope I'm not in your way." "No, not at all," Clara said with a smile. "Your painting is beautiful." Thomas glanced down at his canvas, as though surprised to hear praise. "Thank you. It's nothing special, just trying to capture what I see." "I think you've done more than that," Clara said, her voice thoughtful. "You've captured the soul of the place." They stood there for a moment, silent but not uncomfortable, as if something unspoken had passed between them. Then, with a shy glance, Clara turned to leave, but Thomas stopped her. "Would you like to join me for a walk?" he asked. "The light is changing, and I could use the company." Clara hesitated, a little surprised by the sudden invitation. But something in his voice, something in his quiet demeanor, made her smile and nod. They began walking along the riverbank, side by side, as the sky deepened into twilight. As they walked, they talked about the town, about life, about art, about books, and even about love. It felt easy, natural. Thomas spoke of his travels, the places he had seen, and the people he had met. Clara shared her love for poetry and nature, her dreams of writing one day. In the weeks that followed, their friendship grew. They spent many days together, Clara with her poetry, and Thomas with his paints. They would often meet at the same spot by the river, where the light was perfect for both of their art forms. Over time, the simple, quiet moments they shared began to mean more to both of them. One evening, as the days grew shorter and the air turned crisp with the arrival of fall, Clara sat beside Thomas on the riverbank. The sun was setting, casting golden hues across the water, and the world seemed to hold its breath. "Clara," Thomas said softly, his voice carrying the weight of something more than just friendship. "I know we've only known each other for a little while, but I feel like I've known you for much longer. There's something about you that feels familiar." Clara's heart skipped a beat, and she turned to look at him. His eyes were soft, searching but full of warmth. "I feel the same," she replied, her voice barely above a whisper. "It's like we were meant to meet here at this moment." Thomas reached out, his hand brushing hers, a tentative gesture that felt more like a promise than an invitation. Clara didn't pull away. Instead, she let her fingers linger on his, the connection between them growing stronger with each passing second. From that moment on, their bond deepened. The town seemed smaller, the days shorter, as they found themselves caught in the beauty of their love. They would spend evenings by the river, their hands intertwined, their hearts full of unspoken words. Thomas painted Clara into his works, capturing not just her image, but the essence of her, her quiet strength, her gentle kindness, the light that seemed to glow from within her. But as the seasons changed, so did their lives. Thomas's wanderlust, always a part of him, began to stir once again. He spoke of traveling, of seeing new places, of continuing his journey as an artist. Clara, though torn, understood. She knew that he could never be tied down, that his heart would always